The Denver Arts Festival is having a moment right now, and you can get an insider's look at the fabulous and affordable pieces you can buy. It's a pizza party. From tossing the dough to adding the toppings, I'll learn how to do it like a pro. And the travel mom's on the road again. Let's explore the options for RV rentals and family-friendly summer vacations. Colorado & Company starts right now.
Portions of Colorado & Company contain paid content.
Good friends, gonna get you through the day. Good friends.
Good morning, everybody, and happy Tuesday. All this rain is super beneficial for Colorado, and while your followers might love it, your home, not so much. So Dave from Mountain Safe Exteriors is back to talk about the warning signs Colorado homeowners should never ignore before the next storm rolls in. Stormy weather.
Did you hear it last night?
Yeah.
It was coming down like cats and dogs,
Nice.
huh?
My foster dog was under the bed. It was really bad.
Just when we think we're into our
drought.
high spring weather and
Right.
everything, and we get 5 days of pouring down rain, okay?
It's so annoying.
This is interesting. So go take a look at your windows. Great 4 days to do it right now. A lot of homes today are built with vinyl or plastic windows. And because they expand and contract, great example, Sunday was gorgeous, 76
Beautiful.
degrees. Woke up on Monday morning and what? It was 40, right? It's a huge temperature swing, and plastic windows are expanding and contracting like nobody's business. And here's proof of that. Vinyl windows are designed to take water into the frame. So that's why they have those little slits in the front, those ports. They're called weep holes. And vinyl windows actually have what's called a moat system inside of the window. And the reason for that is they can't keep the water out.
Oh, wow. We don't want a moat?
No, I don't want a window that's designed to take water in. I want a window that's designed to keep it out. And why I was saying that last night with the cats and dogs, a lot of times if you walk up to your sills the next morning, you can see water there.
Oh, I see.
Because the moat isn't deep enough to house everything that's coming in.
It's not the Tower of London. We
That's
don't need
right.
a moat.
Don't want a window that's designed to take water in. I want a window that's designed to keep it out. And that's where the famous Marvin Window Company comes in. And this is their new offering. This is the new Vivid window. They took good components from all of their different lines of windows and they put it into this one window. And it is very, very well priced, okay? Marvin created the fiberglass window. They knew that glass as a material was thermoset. And what that means is that it doesn't expand and contract. So they said, hey, if the glass isn't moving, what if we could make the sash and the frame all out of the same material?
Oh, wow.
Glass. If we could do that, we would eliminate what's killing everything. So this window doesn't move. It's a one and done window. They are absolutely gorgeous. Different than a vinyl window, which most are extruded in white because they're melting and white reflects the most amount of heat.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, sure. This, you can do your blacks, your bronzes, absolutely change the look of the house.
Which I love.
And if you have some places where you want some windows cut in or big doors or capitalize on your view, that's of course where Mountain Safe comes in.
Amazing.
We are Class A contractors. Cutting in a door like that, absolutely not a problem. Look at these amazing, amazing windows that we're putting in homes.
So you can cut that in to get the view.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Okay, let me ask you something. One of my favorite things has to be the discount you give our viewers.
This is a huge
this is a
time of
good
year.
time,
This is
right?
our Marvin blowout for
Yeah,
spring, right?
okay.
Get the windows in before it gets really, really hot out. It's 20% off your entire Marvin window indoor package.
Whoa.
And it includes 24 months same as cash. So no money down. You can be darn sure we're going to show up there when we tell you. You can be darn sure we do a good job because until you sign off on it, we don't get paid. Then you have 2 years of free money.
And then you can pay the last day.
Wait to
Or
the
pay
11th
the
hour,
first.
11th minute. You can pay along the way or you can
Okay.
just wait to the end and dump it.
Oh my gosh.
These windows will literally in the summertime deflect 98% of all radiant heat. That includes your fade rays on your furniture and your art and carpets.
huge.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we'll keep that in the wintertime. So best of the best.
Hi, Marvin. We
Yeah,
appreciate you.
yes, yes.
Okay, let's say someone's watching right now. They want to start the process with
Yep.
Mountain Safe. What do they do next? Like, what's their first step?
Give us a call, get online, fill out the questionnaire. We're not a sales company, we're
Right.
a window company,
Right.
okay? So we don't subscribe to these 3-hour presentations, high pressure, buy it today, it's
Which
this.
is the worst.
It's the worst, it's stupid,
Worst.
it's dinosaur, we don't do it. We'll come out, we can take photos, we can actually do a 3D rendering of the whole house and show you what your new windows will look
that's
like.
so cool.
Also great if you're gonna accompany and do a nail fin and put your James Hardy siding on there for your fire resiliency as well, you know, with the new codes. And it's all free.
So there's a free consultation you can do.
For sure. Appointments usually take about 45 minutes, tops.
Guys, we can all do this. So
There's a good
this
rendering.
is the 3D rendering you have.
Yep.
And it pings, you said, off.
We ping the satellites off the house, and we actually can spin it all the way around and change it. And not only that, now we're using CG, where we can literally make it look like your house once you decide on what you want, and it's really fantastic.
Unbelievable. Now, you guys have built a really strong reputation. I just want to talk about like the reviews for a second. I'm a review girl. Like I care about that stuff.
Yeah.
Tell me about the reviews at Mountain Safe.
I mean, I built the company solely around it. I think the art of customer service is dead, and we're trying to say that it's not. And if you read our reviews, they're perfect. The owner's a little OCD.
Which we like.
We run our own cruise. If you're not happy, we're going to stay there until you are happy with the job. And people are posting pictures of their house after we're done with our work because they're so proud of it, as they should be, by the way.
As they should, right?
Yeah.
I'm so excited. And I think I'd go for a navy blue or bronze.
Navy
There's like
blue?
a lot of colors, guys, you can choose from. So listen up, y'all. Dave is giving Coco viewers a huge discount all this month with 20% off your entire window replacement project. You can get a free in-home consultation and enjoy 20% off, like we said, your entire project. Plus, no money down, no interest, and there's no payments for 2 years. Just go to mountainsafe.com for more information or visit the showroom in Greenwood Village. You can also call 720-955-2120. Mountain Safe Exteriors sponsored today's segment. Avoiding facial aesthetics in the summer is a thing of the past. You can feel great and look great with zero downtime and head into the sun. Oh my word. Back with more Coco right after the break.
The following interview involves commercial content. The products and services featured appear as paid advertising.
Before, there were certain no-nos in aesthetics when it came to exposure to the sun during facial treatments. Y'all remember? Well, those days and worries, they're over. That was my over gesture. Nick DeVerdick says you can take care of your skin and enjoy your summer too.
Yes.
Okay, talk about the eyes. First off, what's going on?
There's a lot
with
going
the
on.
eyes, and is it just aging? And then we're going to talk about how to fix this, okay?
Yes.
So talk to me about what's happening. Why are they so ugly?
Well, aging around the eyes, there's a whole lot of issues that are happening.
Yeah.
But everything that most clinics are talking about is just collagen. But especially underneath the eyes, and I actually just got an M-Face eye on Saturday. Treatment on myself. I did.
Nice.
So I did one the week before that. So I'm doing the series right now. But what's happening underneath the eyes is there's a lot of structure along with something that's very, very important in your dermal layer that we need to address, specifically under the eyes, and also what's happening with the loss of volume on the lips. It's not just collagen breakdown, it's also breakdown of hyaluronic acid. We have the only option in the entire world that can rebuild hyaluronic acid, so thicken up that crepey tissue underneath, and there's zero pain, zero downtime, and you do not need to avoid the sun. Obviously, please take care of your skin.
SPF, hats.
Yes, obviously.
Obviously,
take care
we
of
care
your
about
skin.
that, right.
But this isn't like what all these other places where really lasers get shut down during the summer.
Right.
We have the full capability of treating collagen, elastin, muscle, getting rid of fat pads, eliminating the eye bags. We can do all M-Face. We can do all these amazing, amazing treatments during the summer, so you don't have to shut this down. We're typically in the fall is the laser season.
Right, like winter,
and that's when we fire our lasers. But we have 25 different machines. So depending on what you really need, we can actually start that full non-surgical facelift now during the summer, build that structure, build that foundation, and then we can treat some of the browns come
Reds,
fall. Yeah.
Your under eyes do look good.
Thanks.
You're welcome. They really do. Okay, let's see what M-Face for the eyes. That's what we're talking about here.
Yes.
It looks like an action. And as you said, you can do this without downtime, go to the pool the next day. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, so what's happening underneath the eyes, you have a muscle. So your elevator muscles break down at right around an 8% breakdown of facial muscle tissue every decade after age 30 for the rest of our lives. Now, in the under eye area, this has been one of the trickiest places to treat. Yeah. And really the only options that have been out there in the past was either doing a lower bleph.
I was going to say the bleph that everyone talks about.
Which is surgery, and don't get me wrong, some people need that. And we have some of the best eye surgeons in the entire world in Denver. However, a lot of people want to avoid surgery, me being one of them, right? So when it's just not collagen, what's happening is that muscle's breaking down and it's allowing that fat pad to actually push out. And Moss, if you could zoom in on my face, I'd appreciate it. This is going to look weird to everybody, but I think this is important for Everybody see, I'll go this way. So if I push, you can see my fat pad push out, right?
Yeah.
We all have the fat pads, but then I smile and it pushes right back.
Right.
We all have the fat pads that are there. It's, do you have that muscle and the connective tissue tone to hold it at bay?
Okay.
And that's what M-Face is doing. And sorry to gross everybody out that's watching, but it's really important for people to understand that facial aesthetics isn't just collagen. It's not just shooting your face with IPLs or CO2
Like Botox
or things like that.
Yeah.
There is structural component that we need to actually reverse and bring proper health to the tissue again. And now for the first time ever, we can do that with zero pain, zero downtime, zero negative side effects.
This is my favorite part is I get to go to the pool the next day. But
Yes.
let's take a look at the results because people, I think, want to see this. So, oh my word.
Yeah.
So that is pushing the fat pad back using M-Face?
Yeah, and this is just 4 treatments. We can always do more. So this is not at the end of that patient's journey.
Right.
Depending on the patient.
Like how many treatments usually?
Good question. So all the clinical trials were done with 4 treatments.
Okay.
We can tweak it depending on the severity of the eye bags, if they have lymphatic stagnation, but like we've never been able to do these type of results non-surgically ever before.
And there's no pain?
Zero pain, zero downtime. I take a nap when I get the treatment
How
done.
long is it that you
myself?
sit
It's
there?
a 20-minute treatment.
Really?
And you can literally come here on your lunch break, get the treatment,
that.
go back to work, and we're actually solving an underlying root condition as opposed to just trying to build collagen.
Yeah,
and collagen
exactly.
is important. Do not get me wrong. We're going to address that, but during the summer, let's get that structure. Let's get that foundation. Let's rebuild the hyaluronic acid. Let's bring volume to the lips.
Yeah.
Again, let's thicken up this tissue so that crepey
Because it can
skin.
change your whole face.
Whole face.
Okay, let's talk about eye wearing sundresses in the summer. And you see a lot of skin.
Oh, yeah.
Including, I call it Gary.
Yes. you have named it, Gary.
I have named it Gary. What can you do for chin problems?
So much of the submentum area
Yeah.
is people just think it's fat.
Yeah, right.
Or it can be skin, right? There's more to it than just that. So in the past, if we were trying to address this, a lot of people would go, there was a product that used an acid that you would inject that would melt your fat.
Oh my God.
And then you would swell up like a bullfrog.
Is that Kaipa? I remember.
That was-
Yes. Yep.
So typically people have to do like 5-6 treatments of that, and you could be swollen for up to 2, gnarly. But it's not doing anything for the skin. But also underneath here, you have a muscle that comes across right here called your digastrix, comes back, attached to the hyoid bone and all of that. So when we're addressing your submentum properly, yes, we want to permanently destroy fat. Yes, we want to tighten the skin, but we also want to engage and lift that muscle back up.
Yeah, right.
So now we're able to see more lifting in the submentum area than any other procedure we've ever had done before, while we're permanently destroying the fat, while we're tightening the skin. So we can bring people's jaw lines back by treating the mid-face along with the submentum area. But this is such a profound and novel approach to truly solve the problems as opposed to just trying to melt fat. We have other treatments that can go after fat, but we've never been able to restore
Look at
jaw
that.
lines before.
Look at that.
And what's so nice about this is there's no real BMI that we have to worry about. We can truly bring your jawline
Look at that.
back,
That is
which
huge.
is amazing.
That
And
is
there's
huge.
zero pain, zero downtime, and it's all natural.
Amazing. Okay, so, I mean, this is just, I'm not saying the face needs, it's not a vanity thing, but it does give you that confidence back.
It's part of wellness.
Yeah, it really is in self-care. So call Nick and his team at Aria Integrative Health. See how M-Face specifically can improve and freshen your look without the needles, the harsh peels, or the downtime. You just saw the before and afters. Call now for a free consultation, 303-953-2899. If it's bothering you, make the call. You can also see more online at ariaintegrativehealth.com. They sponsored today's segment. Say goodbye to Gary.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, that's right. Well, move over Taco Tuesday. Pizza's taken over this week. When Colorado & Company returns, Rare Bird is here to teach me how to toss up a pizza pie. A pizza pie. Welcome back to Coco. All right, I have a challenge for you all. Level up your pizza game by making your own. Sous chef Roy Trujillo. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
From
Oh,
Rare
good.
Bird is in the Coco Kitchen with some tips. Chef, where do we start? Keep in mind, some of us are clumsy and brand new. Okay?
No, you're all good. It all starts with your pizza dough, for sure. We are gonna grab it, and then we're gonna make sure that we coat it perfectly in our bowl of flour that we have over here.
Should I do that?
Yeah, just on both sides.
Oh God. Oh Lord.
You're all good. It's pizza, so it's gonna get messy. So
Okay,
just trust
just
yourself.
go with
Trust your gut for sure.
Okay.
All right. And after that, we are always gonna start by the sides, making sure that we make our crust, and then with our fingers, we're just gonna start slowly pushing.
So crust
making the
goes
shape.
first, huh?
Crust goes first. Yeah,
didn't know
we
that.
are trying not to actually press a lot of the center because as most doughs, it's fermented.
Huh.
So the more we actually press it, the more air we're actually taking off. You know?
Interesting.
And
so
then
keep
after
that
that-
fluffy.
Yeah, and after that we can just start stretching with our hands.
Okay.
You know,
Stretch them with the hands.
rustic pizza. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know.
That's the best part about this.
Absolutely, yeah.
It can look like Tori made it.
Oh,
Okay.
not at all. It's perfect, right? And then after that we just go with our hands, and then we can put it in our knuckles, and then we just start stretching with them. You
Okay,
know, and
okay.
we start flipping. You know,
Yep.
slowly
Slowly.
and calm. You can even do
Whoa,
it like
yours
here.
is much bigger. Oh, this, I see it grow.
You see it? You see it?
Yes.
Yeah. So with your knuckles, like even you start like stretching.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it does have a good stretch to it.
It does, yeah, absolutely. Chef Lily made this pizza dough for us, and it's amazing.
Can you buy pizza dough if you don't know how to make it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can even buy it at the store, and it's already like pre-made.
Okay.
The biggest
But we're
thing
learning
is
how to
that
make it.
the biggest thing is that you have to make sure that you let it out for it to get to room temperature first for
Got
like
it.
at least 30 to 45 minutes.
Okay, that's a good call.
Yeah.
Mine's more of a trapezoid. than a
Oh,
circle.
it's all good.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be perfect, you know.
Okay. All right.
All right.
That looks good.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me just.
He's like, let me help
Let me
you out
just.
with that.
Oh no, you're all
And
good.
you're doing
and even if you see,
Yeah,
like
there's
if
a
you have this
hole.
spot
Yeah,
right
yeah.
here, you just grab a little piece of that dough and then you just fill it.
Okay, got it.
know?
And you're teaching classes at this?
That is correct. We are teaching them in our rooftop Rare Bird,
Nice,
located in Housing Hotel.
nice. It's a beautiful view. Okay.
All right. And after that, we can start building our pizzas.
Okay,
you know?
let's see what
So,
goes next.
Obviously, first you got your pizza sauce.
Nice.
So I just do a little bit and then just whoosh.
Oh, use the back. Use the back. Use the back. Okay,
Absolutely.
that's very good. Okay.
Do you want to go next?
Yeah. This is not going to be as nice, but we'll try it. Use the back. Use the back. Okay.
Look at that. Lovely.
Yeah, I did something.
And then after that, your toppings, you know? Like I usually like to start with cheese first and then
Nice.
toppings just because it looks nicer, you
So
know?
what do you put on your pizza? I guess I'll do, is this the cheese you use?
That's the cheese, yeah. We
Okay.
do have mozzarella, the shredded one, and then we also have the classic mozzarella log,
Okay.
you know, that you normally see for margarita pizzas.
Yes. So this is just shredded mozzarella you
This
can
is
get at the
shredded.
store.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is correct.
Okay.
And then
I'm a big onion girl.
Absolutely, yeah. And I
Okay.
brought everything for meat lovers. We got Italian sausage, some pepperoni, some cherry tomatoes, spinach, basil. So you can just
Yum.
play around, do whatever you like, you know?
Unbelievable. So you're a meat lover guy.
I love.
Okay, not everyone has a wood fire pizza oven. So is your typical oven okay to use or even like on the grill?
Absolutely, it is very possible. What I would recommend is probably to get your oven around 400, 425 degrees.
Okay.
And then with this type of pizza, since the crust is so thin,
Yeah.
it will cook in around 12 minutes.
Really?
12 to 13 minutes.
Do you put it on a baking sheet or do you put it on like, it's just this?
On a baking sheet,
Got it.
just a little bit of cooking spray or
Yeah,
cooking
yeah,
oil, and
yeah.
then I preferably like to put a little bit of flour so it doesn't stick.
Nice.
And that's it.
And that's all you
Yeah.
need to do. Okay.
And you can even grill it as well.
Unbelievable.
I would just grill it both ways, you know, make sure that it's cooked all the way, and then after that I put my toppings and then I close my lid.
grill, okay,
So that it actually melts and cooks.
And how long do you
altogether.
think that on the grill?
I would probably say 4 minutes on each side.
Oh, wow, not
Yeah,
long.
and then
Okay.
just like a little couple more minutes for it to
Amazing.
melt and cook.
All right, okay, so our viewers have the chance to try this for themselves. Tell us more about the pizza making class. You said it's at the Rare Bird. Okay, at the top?
That is correct.
Okay.
Rare Bird is a rooftop that we have at Housing Hotel on the top floor. It is $90 per person, and you actually get a complimentary glass of wine with it. We're trying to actually make it a very intimate experience, so we're only allowing 8 people per class.
Nice,
Yeah, and
nice.
it's the second Thursday of the month.
Second Thursday of the month, and it continues.
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay.
Right now we're doing June, July, and August.
Perfect timing. You can also make this a staycation with the Pie in the Sky package. What is that?
That is an actual night stay that we're offering that includes 2 tickets for pizza classes, as well as your complimentary wine.
Nice.
So that way, whenever you're done with your pizza class, you can just
Stay
go down
there.
and stay there and just relax, enjoy.
Have more than one glass, absolutely. What is
Absolutely,
it?
yeah.
Rare Bird's rooftop pizza making classes are going all summer long, as he said, but there are only 8 seats available per class. So snag your spot now at rarebirddenver.com. What a fun little date activity.
It is,
I love that. That's amazing. When Colorado and Company returns, you may be just the RV type. See how easy it is to rent, ride, and enjoy some R&R.
The following interview involves commercial content. The products and services featured appear as paid advertising.
Welcome back. If you like the idea of camping in the outdoors, but you're oversleeping in a tent, there's a way you can try out the whole RV thing and enjoy the best of our Colorado scenery and do it in comfort. Our friend, Emily Kaufman, the travel mom, shares more.
Hi, Emily. I always love talking to you. You are such a delight. But let's just start right off. Where the heck are you?
Well, this is the first time talking to you from inside a beautiful RV because summer is on the horizon and just around the corner is National Go RVing Day, Saturday, June 13th. So it's the perfect opportunity to talk about what I love so much about the RV lifestyle. And there is so much, whether you're traveling with your family or your significant other or your pets, there's room for everyone in an RV.
Okay, what do you enjoy most about like that RV lifestyle?
There's so much that I enjoy. It's kind of challenging to pick just one thing. You can see that there's plenty of room to spread out. And I've got the comforts of home on the road with me with a full kitchen. There's also all kinds of modern conveniences available. You can have a big screen TV, a fireplace, even laundry facilities. And you might not understand, it is incredibly economical to have an RV because you could save up to 60% off the cost of a traditional vacation experience. Because with an RV, you've got everything all in one place. No airline tickets, no hotel, no dining costs. So it is really something for every budget and every type of traveler that gives you the freedom in travel like you've never known before.
Okay, that's so exciting. First off, budget friendly, and then the laundry inside the RV. They have really upgraded these things. Okay.
They sure have.
I love that. I know Go RVing has like a really special contest going on right now. Can you spill the deets, Emily?
Absolutely. You know, this is a big summer with America's 250th, and Go RVing is participating with an RV 250 promotion with this fun passport. You can pick it up at participating RV dealerships, or you can download it from GoRVing.com. You can fill it with pictures and experiences from. And if you send in a picture of your vacation experience, you can be entered to win $5,000 towards a future exploration journey. And for the first 250 people that enter, you're going to get some really cool RV swag.
Okay, this is so exciting, Emily. I'm very excited about this. But I have to tell our viewers, you not only travel to great places, but you also do great giveaways. Tell us more.
I do. I love to talk about travel, but I want to make that accessible for everyone. You can follow along with my giveaways at The Travel Mom on Instagram and Facebook, and make sure you check out GoRVing.com.
Thanks so much, Emily. Happy road tripping.
Thanks. Good to be back with you.
See you soon.
For more information on how to get started with Go RVing, check out their website, GoRVing.com. Follow the travel mom, Emily Kaufman, for tips and so much more at thetravelmom.com and on socials at thetravelmom. She sponsored today's segment. Well, the Denver Arts Festival is like the kickoff to Arts Fests, and it's a good one to start with because it's rated as one of the top shows in the country. With me, Executive Director Yana Novak. Hello, Yana.
Hello.
Good to see you here again.
Yes, very much so.
Absolutely. So share more about yourself and your experience in dealing with the art world and how you got started in this.
Absolutely. So I originally am a freelance writer, first and foremost.
Nice.
And then I have a second business, which is that I own the Denver Graffiti Tour. So if anybody wants to do walking tours of the street art in the Rhino Art District.
That's awesome.
And then I got into this business actually originally because of the nonprofit that is involved with the festival, the Colorado Pet Pantry. That's one of the charities that I work closely with. So when Jim decided to move on, and he's still running the Affordable Arts Festival, she contacted me and said, hey, I think there's this great opportunity. And for me, it was wonderful because it is full circle. It is that idea of I grew up and my father was an author and my mother was a fine art artist.
Oh, wow.
So this was about me being able to come back to what I grew up with.
Sure.
I like to joke that I was born with a paintbrush in my hand and a pen in my
other
hand. Yes,
hand, totally.
exactly.
I'm an art history major. My mother was an artist.
I love
and
that.
Studied and worked at the National Gallery of Art. So this is stuff that really piques my interest. There will be more than 145 artists, speaking of, at the festival. What kind of art can we expect to see?
So this gives a good idea of all of the different categories that we have covered. We have everything from functional wood to sculpture, decorative wood. We have glass art. We have ceramics, clay. We have sculpture. We have printmaking. We have leather and fabric, like the purse
I
over
didn't see the
there.
purse. That
Isn't
looks
that
great.
stunning?
Yeah, that's
and then
beautiful.
we have paintings, and we have watercolors, and we have photography. So basically every category you could think of that you might be interested in. And it will all be original art, and the prices are everything from very inexpensive to there's a guy who does sculptures where those are in the tens of thousands.
Yeah,
but it's
so
worth
that's
it,
big
yes.
money. But I thought stuff there that was like 100, 150.
Exactly.
And I have it hanging, and it's like, I feel very proud that I bought original art from Denver. Talk about a couple of pieces you brought today. Let's start with over here.
Sure.
Yeah.
So the purse, since you didn't notice that, is wonderful. It's a local artist named Corinne Pogaleski, and she works with fabrics and metals and leather, and it's all hand cut and hand assembled to make these incredible pieces that have vibrant colors, and it really is a unique, one-of-a-kind piece of art that you can wear, which
What a
is
fun
incredible.
thing for summer, too.
Exactly.
That would be beautiful. Okay, what's the next one?
So I really wanted to highlight the wood piece there because that's one of our local artists, Joe Anastasia. And as you can see, he does functional. It is a wine rack. So for those of us who happen to like their wine like me, it's perfect. And one of the things he does that's so unusual is he is able to sort of weave these hardwoods together to create these beautiful works of art. So that is multiple different types of wood that you see in that piece.
Lovely. I love that intertwining. This is stunning.
Isn't
and you
it?
could even have this just as a sculpture by itself, right?
Exactly. In fact, when I first got the piece, several people saw it at my house and went, what beautiful art, what beautiful sculpture. And I'm like, oh, but look what it does.
Look what it can hold.
Exactly.
It's even more beautiful.
Exactly.
All right, take me over here.
Sure, so really quickly, we there have printmaking by Ginny Vinker. So that is that idea of it's printmaking and graphics that people will often do, and it's sort of in a discussion of culture, a lot of the idea. This is a sculpture where he does bronze wildlife, and he uses found items and antiques that he puts together. So an incredibly heavy but beautiful piece.
This is something I could see myself getting.
Exactly.
Like, this speaks to me a lot.
And he said, and that's actually part of the reason of what I love about art is that idea that it speaks to people.
Yes.
And so it really connects you both to community and to a piece that just could be different, that you may think nobody else has your taste and you can find it. It's why you see such a variety of art. You know, for example, Julie Dools over there, and versus David Martinez that you have underneath, which very much covers his culture. And then you have Dr. Thomas Larkart over here. This is called Summer Refresh, which is why I picked it, because that whole idea of a watermelon and a drink is kind of perfect for the season we're about to come into.
Amen, amen.
Exactly. And then you have the decorative pieces that are gorgeous, like the abstract art that Jackie Fisher does, Artful Elements. And then Russ Skinner, who does the more decorative sculptural wood piece here. And that's sort of another idea of community.
Nice.
So Russ lives up in Fort Collins, Joe Anastasia lives in Loveland, and I connected the two of them so that they could one person could bring the art down. So Russ actually drove the art down, rather than Joe and his wife Trina having to drive it down
And
just
that's
to drop it
another
off.
thing about art is the community. I mean, I think that that's
Exactly.
such an important part of this. What about this guy, the Dr. Thomas?
Dr. Lockhart. So this is his piece, and it's interesting. He does a lot of pieces that are sort of cultural and an expression of that, and sometimes almost in a surreal sense,
nice.
which is really pretty. And he is actually currently in New York City live painting for a Malcolm X event going on.
Fabulous.
And that's one of the fun things about art, is that you can have these moments that have a lot of meaning, and then you can have ones that are just beautiful and they have meaning to you.
Exactly.
Most artists make art because they're trying to express themselves.
Say something.
So exactly, it's first and foremost about themselves, and then they put it out there, and it's this wonderful sense of, wow, someone else. And that's where community comes in. Sometimes you'll look at art and be, I didn't know anybody else experiences this or goes through it. And it's wonderful to see this expression of understanding, so it can bring you closer together in that sense.
And it's also okay if you don't get it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's not for everyone, but something is going to speak to you.
Exactly.
Something is going to do that. So the Denver Arts Festival happens Memorial Day weekend, Saturday, May 23rd, and Sunday, May 24th. It starts at 10 a.m. in Central Park. For directions, details, and more about the artists, go to denverartsfestival.com. Thank you, Yana. This is beautiful. And
Thank
I'm so
you so much
excited.
for having us.
Absolutely. When Colorado and Company returns, graduation season is here, even for the littlest learners. How Mile High United Way can help your preschooler with a program called Hippie. Yeah, Hippie. That interview coming up next. Early childhood education and care are two areas of focus for Mile High United Way, and I want to learn how they're offering support to families in Colorado. They're one of my favorite organizations. We have Chief Strategy Officer Chelsea Carver here, who I love, and of course we have Catalina Gonzalez, Director of Hippie and Community Engagement, and we're going to talk about what Hippie is, because it's all peace, man. Okay, so Chelsea, early child care is a very important part of your work, which is amazing, and the mission, really, at Mile High United Way. What makes this such a priority for you guys?
I love that question, because when you think about a baby doesn't show up anywhere on their own.
Right.
They're a part of a family who's struggling with housing, food insecurity, all of those things. And then when you think about, 90% of a child's brain is done being formed by age 5.
Is that right?
That is right. And so when you think about what it means to set a child up for success.
Oh, it's the early.
If you're not hitting at the very beginning, that's a generation. That's the trajectory for that child. And so for us, really trying to get in on that ground floor and make sure that that family and that child are set up is of utmost importance.
And right now, especially with affordability, gas price, I mean, all of this, let's be very real here. How do you address those challenges and the needs? Like, what are you offering?
Totally. Well, I think there's a couple of things. I am blessed to work for an incredible organization that values data.
Yeah.
I'm married to an accountant, so data is very important in my house.
Sexy.
You know it. But we have our 211 help center, right? And more than 200,000 Coloradans called last year asking for help. And that's things from, I can't pay my rent, I can't afford gas, food's too expensive. Diapers, the whole thing. But when you think about those data points, then it allows us to make really smart decisions about what families need. And so what we heard was 3 things. First and foremost, people who want their child in a daycare and licensed childcare. So we're addressing that. The second one is informal care. So like, I want my mom to watch my kid. I want my neighbor, my auntie. And then the third one, which I actually love the most, is what Hippie is, and it's making sure that parents have the support they need to be their child's best and first teacher. And so that's really, when you think about early childhood, the 3 different strategies we look at to make sure babies are cared for in whatever place makes most sense for their family.
Right, and sometimes it is the auntie, and sometimes it's not.
Totally.
Okay, Catalina, I said in the intro, you're director of Hippie, as Chelsea said too. It's an acronym for Home Instruction for Parents of Preschool Youngsters. It's a great name. Share more about what the program is and how it's helping families.
Yes, definitely. With the Hippie program, we partner with parents, and we support them so they can become the first and most important teachers of their little ones. So we have family advocates that go and visit our families once a week for a whole program school year.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it's a 30-week curriculum. And what we do is we role play out that activities from the curriculum with parents, because we know that the parents learn by doing things, but then our little ones learn by having that special time with their parents. So when we leave the home, that's when parents get together with their little ones. That's when they can do math activities, science activities, reading, and lots of fun activities that we do with our hippie curriculum. So pretty much our families have that one-on-one person that supports them.
And they can trust that. That's so important.
Yes.
And I love that it's for the whole school year.
For the school year.
I mean,
it's
that
for the
is
whole
like,
school year, yes.
if you come once, you're like, well, what is that going to help? But that consistency is everything. Any personal experiences you guys can share with us about a family or anything like that that you've helped out?
Oh, maybe I start and then you go.
Yeah, let's hear.
My favorite one actually came from our hippie graduation 2 years ago. So you've got these, as you saw, the little babies in their caps and gowns, but we do a really awesome thing where we allow parents to come up and say a couple words about their kids before they get their diploma. And one of the dads got up there and just is in tears. And what he said to his son was, I am so proud that you get to imagine a life that I never got to.
Oh my God, I'm gonna cry.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
I was pretty much, I told Catalina I was basically mashed potatoes.
Oh my gosh.
But that's what you want, right? You want to give your child everything that you never had. And so I loved it. But I know you have some beautiful ones too.
Definitely, yeah. We have so many, but one that comes in mind right now, it's of one of our families that are going to be graduating next month. This mom started in the program 4 years ago.
Oh, wow.
When she started the program, we went to her house and we start showing her all that activities, and then she's like, but I don't know how to read.
Oh, wow.
And we said, do not worry, we're going to learn together, and this is something that we can do. So after 4 years, now she's reading. Now she's doing so many good things that now her son is ready to go to kindergarten next fall. Oh so now she's able to read letters and exactly, and also like now she can go to look for schools for her son. And now after all of that, reading became a habit for them in their house. Now they have books, and now husband is also reading. This is so funny, but the other day, the husband called her, and she was working, and then she's like, have you read? And then he's like, no, I'm going to call Miss Juanita. So, you know, that now it's the whole family involved.
That's so
wonderful. Yes.
That's amazing. Well, you guys can support the work of Mile High United Way. You can also find some time to volunteer. It really does fill your cup if you do give back. To learn more about programs like Hippie for early childhood education, if that's your thing, go to unitedwaydenver.org, or as Chelsea said, just dial 211. If you need help, that's why they're here. Thank you both for being here today. We'll be right back. We all know that Colorado's trails are some of the most beautiful anywhere. Well, Brandy Horton with the Rails to Trails Conservancy has a lot of good things to say as well. Take a look.
Brandy, I am so excited to be talking to you. This is the 40th anniversary of the Rails to Trails Conservancy. So tell us what you do.
Sure. So Rails to Trails Conservancy is the country's largest trails, walking, and biking advocacy organization. And the best way to think of us is as the voice and the champion of the trails movement. So we advocate for the public funding that's needed to do this work at the federal, state, and local levels. We offer technical assistance and resources to all of the groups, thousands of groups across the country that are working on building out trails. We work with states and regions to do connected trail systems to make it safer and easier for people to walk and bike in their communities. And I get the fun job of promoting trails, right? Making sure that people know that these spaces exist and that they really offer just incredible opportunities for them in their everyday lives and in their communities.
Oh, this is great. Okay, let's hit the trail. What's the best way we can find trails right here in Colorado?
So Colorado has fantastic outdoor adventures across the board, and rail trails are a piece of that. RTC has an incredible platform called Trail Link. You can download that to your phone, and it offers you maps and details and information about trails that are near you or trails that you want to go and visit. So it'll geolocate and tell you kind of what's around you, but it'll also let you kind of explore different parts of the country or different parts of the state. And it gives you, it's so cool because it gives you maps, it gives you user user reviews so you can kind of see like what other people are experiencing out there, what they think. It'll tell you about the amenities that exist on the trail. So it's really kind of a wonderful first stop for figuring out what trail experience you want to create for yourself.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, let's say we're hitting the trail for the first time. What are some of your top tips for first timers?
My number one tip, which I feel like is all encompassing, is to plan ahead. I think sometimes, we're going out on a big 2-day backcountry hike. We're really going to plan that, right? We're going out for a few hours on the trail, and people might be like, oh, I don't really have to think about that so much. You should. You should think about, is there water available to me? Is there shelter? Am I going to need to kind of pack layers because I'm out in the sun? Are there restrooms? Do I have to think about kind of how I'm going to use the facilities? Are there opportunities to connect into towns? One of the things that is so special about multi-use trails is they do intersect with towns in really unique ways. And so you can kind of get out, explore a small town you might not otherwise have visited, buy an ice cream, buy a beer, whatever it is. But you need to know that those are there so that you can kind of make a plan to visit and to stop. And so taking the time to plan ahead, TrailLink is a resource to do that. It offers all that information. That's going to make you have the best experience, the safest experience, lower your stress level because you know what to expect.
That's great. Okay, we are so excited about Celebrate Trails Day. So is there anything happening in Colorado to help celebrate?
So Celebrate Trails Day is on April 25th. It is the national moment for America's trails. It is a chance for us to get outside and to show off all of the ways that trails make our lives and our communities better. There are events happening in Colorado. There are actually events this year happening in all 50 states, which is really exciting. And so I would encourage folks to go to railstotrails.org and find out about events that are happening near you. If you're not into events and you just want to get out on the trail, that counts too. Get out on the trail, snap a picture, tag us in it at Rails to Trails. That way we can take your story and your experience of why trails make a difference and put it into the national conversation about how this infrastructure is truly essential to the entire country.
That's so great. Okay, you're the perfect person to ask this next question. Trails are so much more than just pathways. So how have they evolved over the years?
In the very beginning of this movement, it was truly about protecting rail corridors that were going out of use. And so some of the earliest advocacy actually came from naturalists in Illinois. May Watts was a naturalist who was very concerned about creating access and preserving access to nature so that people would appreciate all of the important flora and all of the important wildlife that existed around them. Other people, came to early founders of Rails to Trails Conservancy concerned about wildlife habitats and the railroad corridors that were no longer being used for transportation. They were really being used by wildlife, and how could we protect that from development? And so that turned into this effort to transition those spaces into multi-use trails. Today, there's over 42,500 miles of multi-use trail all across the country. It's rail trails, it's greenways, it's canal towpaths, and all of that creates a new opportunity to connect that infrastructure so that people can safely walk and bike and be active outside where they live. And that is where the movement is headed. All 50 states are working on trail networks. All 50 states today have trails. Millions of people enjoy this infrastructure every single day. And so it truly has become a defining part of the American experience to be able to walk and bike in our communities. And I think that is something really worth celebrating as RTC turns 40 and as America celebrates its 250th birthday.
Learn more about the Rails to Trails Conservancy and get ready to explore by visiting railstotrails.org. Thank you for your company, Colorado. Portions of today's program were sponsored by the businesses listed on your screen. And do you get overwhelmed in the wine aisle at the grocery store and you're just like looking at labels? That's what I do. Tomorrow on Colorado and Company, we try out a new app that's making wine tasting fun. And remember, everyone you encounter is facing an uphill battle you know nothing about. So be kind, be patient, be gentle, and then apply that right back to yourself. I'm trying to do the exact same thing so we can do it together. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye! See you guys.